when we're out on the Gettysburg field or some of these battlefields, those are real dead soldiers from 1863 that we're talking over. And those are real people that have been reanimated as opposed to actors playing those roles. So it's very interesting. If you get a chance in your area, saving Lincoln's what we're seeing. And there will be a film my buddy directed coming out called Zombex. And this is a zombie movie. It's a conspiracy theory movie that Katrina never happened. That was a government ploy. They needed to drop some post-traumatic stress pharmaceuticals in a test market. That was New Orleans. It went rogue, and flesh-eating zombies occurred. And I play a libertarian type of DJ that goes out on a road trip to find the antidote. So it's got a little zombie land to it.
That sounds awesome.
I'm excited for that. And I do that with Malcolm McDowell and Sid Haig.
Sweet.
And Tom Araya is in this movie, as is John Doe. So there's some really cool people. And Jesse Dayton directed that.
Sounds like a great cast.
Yeah, I've got some cool stuff, and I'm looking for some cool stuff to do as well. I'm actually unemployed right now. But hopefully not for long.
Right, definitely.
Well, thank you for answering that question. That actually came from Gina Flannery. So she asked that question.
Gina. Maybe I can come cut your lawn. Do some yard work or something. I will be out amongst the audience, the fans, this summer, quite a bit into the fall, all the way up through winter, probably doing some convention appearances.
Yeah, definitely. I'm
excited for all those. It's always great. I did that tour a little bit with the Devil's Rejects, and I also did it with Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and so The Walking Dead is so immensely popular. I'm really excited to meet everybody.
We are actually going to Horror Hound March, Cincinnati. And
we'll see you there.
Yes,
I love Cincinnati.
Definitely,
I actually really like Cincinnati. So I'm hoping it's a little warmer than it is today.
You and me both.
I'm hoping it thaws a little bit by then.
So we'll all come and stop by and say hi to you.
Yes, we'll get some photos.
Yes, definitely.
That sounds awesome. We can't wait.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
So our next question comes from Nate Reagan. He is a big prop guy. He wants to know if you kept any props or wardrobe pieces from The Walking Dead, or if you were allowed to.
I kept the mustache. Tell Nate I kept the mustache.
That's the most important part.
I kept. I didn't keep the prison suit because by the time I got out of that, I was done with it. The thing was so hot, and it was wearing me by the end. It was so nice to get out of that. And the other thing is, people judge you when you wear convict blue. You're judged. You are a bum. So it was nice to get into the Book of Eli clothing that I was wearing, the riot gear. Yes, I took. What did I take? Oh, I took one of the crowbars I used in the first zombie killing exploits. That was actually a real crowbar. And I thought that would be a nice. It always seems like a good idea until you pack that stuff to go home. And then guess what? Your luggage is overweight. You can't take something like that on an airplane, right? So now it's in you, and you're like, yeah, it's $50. You're like, oh, do I really want this crowbar? What else did I take? At the end, interesting. As we started the show, because he was a junkie, ostensibly, the idea that he was white-knuckling or having trouble keeping it together was the cold hands thing under the armpit, So then as we transitioned out and he was getting a little better, there was a rag or a pocket square or this sort of plaid, and I took that.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think I got a lot of nice gifts from cast and crew, but I didn't take anything per se that wasn't mine. I wanted to take my trailer; it was really good, but I'm guessing that Alan has it or somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, not Alan. That's a good question. It's interesting, Nate. Particularly prosthetics. Rob Zombie keeps all those faces, the skin masks of Adam Banjo. Rob has all those. Prosthetically, like when I lost my arm in Domino, someone else has the arm. I mean, all that cool stuff. There was a movie I did called Trailer Park of Terror.
Yeah.
And where we were prosthetic zombies, kind of a functioning, dysfunctional trailer park of redneck zombies. And I did keep a lot of the prosthetics from there. And that's one of the few places. I did keep my wardrobe from Halloween, the Smithsville.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Asylum suit. I did keep my outfit from... I've kept more wardrobe than actually props because... the glasses I wore in Unstoppable, the yellow glasses, gave the ponytail back. I actually have some stuff I can't talk about.
Okay.
Yep. You're right, Nate. I have a lot of stuff. You caught me, all right? I'll give it back if I've taken anything from you.
Billy Morris wants to know what you were feeling when you found out that you were cast as Axel.
What was I feeling? Well, that's so interesting because while I was cast, I was actually working. I was on the Lone Ranger.
Oh, really?
And hence the mustache. That's really the basis of how because that was the build of the Lone Ranger. So I was on a horse and I'd had a break and they had asked me to put things on tape for The Walking Dead and I did. And they asked me to adjust it, which I did. And then they said, looks like this is going to happen. And I was a little surprised because I had been in for him twice before. I went in for Merle originally.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Way back in the pilot. And then I went in for Merle's brother, which was not Daryl at this point. They didn't even have they didn't have dialogue for Merle's brother yet, Daryl. You just went in and read Merle's lines again, except as his brother. And I was like, this is weird because is it his twin brother? And you want me to read these different than I just read them? So, fortunately, they had hired Michael Rooker. Then they had hired Norman Reedus. And I just felt like, well, they're just going to get someone cooler than me for the third time. But this goes to prove that the third time is a charm. And,
Definitely.
I was super excited. I was really excited to be attached to not only this show, but a character that I was really jazzed about who was or is in the comic book series. So the fans were waiting for Axel, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that, to me, seemed like the best way to come into a program. So I was thrilled, and I like Atlanta where we shoot. We shot Lawless there, right down the road.
Mm-hmm.
I love Atlanta. Atlanta's one of the really good towns in America, and I was thrilled. No problem whatsoever.
Awesome.
Great. What about Amy's question?
Amy said, what was your favorite scene to shoot in The Walking Dead or any movie, period?
All right. Well, I guess for The Walking Dead, I felt like my favorite thing clearly is the interaction with Carol. I feel like the levity of "You're Not a Lesbian," I felt like that was so great. I mean, I just think it. Actors have a term called "it sings well," which musicians have as well. And so this on the page, it sang well. So I didn't have to do much to make that work. You got the short hair. And so I do feel like I put my own little spin on it. We shot that. Again, I talked about the scheduling. We shot that at the end of a day where we were running out of time, and I was so frantically rushed to get into that scene from having been outdoors, and I was sweaty and I was out of breath and I was a little frustrated because I didn't want to get pushed around in this big scene, and it felt like that's what was going to happen. And so I just took a moment and got focused, and it served me. And Melissa was great because I think her reactions to all that made it even better. Obviously, So I think that's my favorite work that I did on Walking Dead, and my favorite scenes. I also so appreciated the plea for my life with Rick, because I wanted to appeal to his humanity, and I think he availed that to me, as opposed to him just pulling the trigger and shooting us both.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And there was a lot going on in that scene too. There was so much action and activity, and then just moral issues. Are you really going to shoot two men that you don't know, that you got down on execution? Where the white guy's begging for his life, and the black guy says, "Hey, you do what you got to do." And to me, that's very typical. And so there's socioeconomic references in there too that production allowed us to investigate. So those two scenes on Walking Dead. Favorite scene ever, and I really liked a scene that I did in Unstoppable. I so liked the diner scene, I guess, where I was touting my expertise. So, yeah, those were all good. Those were good stuff. Oh, Devil's Rejects. I love it.
Yeah.
Opening the Adam Banjo in the hotel room with Priscilla Barnes.
Yeah.
Just trying to sell TV dinners. Fuck me running. Yeah. How can you not be happy with that? So I would say that scene, Unstoppable, and then the scenes with Carol. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Good deal.
Robert Scott Bean wants to know, was it hard keeping your character's death a secret, and were you allowed or tempted to tell anyone?